Hey guys, ZeroArmada here, Road to God episode 4. Really quickly, just to recap, level 14, 8.5k GP, still waiting to get the health injector kit, almost there. But don't really have anything set in stone to talk about. I'm just going to kind of jump from point to point. I'm going to go off of comments for what people have suggested. But kind of just a little quick update. Blacklight's having a flash sale, so a lot of stuff's on sale, really cheap. Definitely go check that out. But first thing to talk about is performance. If you've come from consoles like Xbox or PS3, you never had to worry about performance at all because all your games were tailored for your specific console. Everything's all standardized, so you never really have to worry about that. PC gaming's a different dog though. You have to worry about your computer specs, you have to worry about your game and your video settings on that game, so there's a lot that goes into it. And essentially, a good analogy is racing. It's pretty much a Ferrari against a Prius, and if you don't have, decent performance on your game, you're basically driving the Prius and you're screwed. So kind of a magic number you want to go after is 60 frames a second, and basically so all you can do to kind of make sure you're on that level. First thing, Fraps, DxTory, a lot of recording softwares have a built-in FPS counter, so definitely look into that. But like I said, you never want to dip below 60 FPS because you get a lot of slowdown, a lot of frame distortion, artifacts, all that stuff, and it can really hinder your gameplay. It's basically like you're playing 3 steps below someone who has ideal performance. So a couple things you can do to kind of alleviate these problems. First thing, just get a better computer, better processor, video card or processor, RAM would probably be the 3 biggest things you can upgrade depending on what you have. But that's out of the question. The cheap solution would just be to lower your video settings. Probably the biggest thing you can do is disable DirectX 11. That's a huge impact on your resources on your computer, and it can really help out your performance. Texture settings, depth of field, not really for the performance, but it's really hindering for when you're trying to aim down sight long range. It's really blurry. It basically blurs out your vision long distances. So more of it for having a clearer picture, I would disable depth of field. But the game doesn't have to be pretty. I mean, it's a gorgeous game, but in the long run you want to sacrifice that to have consistent performance. So definitely look into making sure you have at least some sort of stable performance when you're playing Blacklight, and that can really help you out in the long run, because you don't want to go into a firefight, basically start shooting, and then you start lagging from frame rate lag or video lag or whatever, and you basically get killed when you probably could have killed them if you didn't have those issues in the first place. So just some basic tips on video settings and all that stuff. Second thing, depot. So depot is pretty pivotal in Blacklight, mainly for the health and the ammo refills. You can instantly refill your health and ammo in the snap. So when you're in tight situations, definitely go and use a depot. You really want to get in and get out of it as soon as possible. It has to be a quick trip, because the longer you're in there, the more vulnerable you are from enemy fire and all that stuff. So couple tips. First thing, have your 2 big items, or the 2 items you use the most, as your first and your last slot in the depot. And basically, because you use your scroll wheel to navigate through the depot items to select something. So if you have your first item, it's going to be all the way up, and when you it's going to be the first option, so basically you have to scroll all the way up to get to that first option. And likewise, your last item will be all the way down, so you scroll all the way down for your last option. So you don't have to worry, or you have to think about what item you're picking. You just have to scroll all the way up, press the space bar, and boom, you have that first big item that you always use. And likewise, scroll all the way down, space bar, you get your second item. So that's kind of a little tip for getting out of the depot as fast as possible. And I use those 2 items, health and ammo, so if you really need health really quickly, definitely invest in that and use that as a cool way to get in and out of the depot as fast as possible. But when you're playing, pretty much you want to use the depots as your way of going through a route. You want to go from depot to depot, go from one depot, refill your ammo, your health, get a couple kills, then go to the next one, and kind of just migrate yourself throughout all the depot stations on the map. I think that's a safe way of going about choosing routes and areas to go through when you're playing any kind of a map. But like I said, just make sure you're getting in and out of it as fast as possible. And that's probably the biggest thing and the most crucial thing. But going through some of the items available in the depot, hard suit is a kind of a given thing, kind of the most commonly associated thing with the depot. Huge game changer if you know what you're doing with it. But it's gotten nerfed a little bit. It's a lot easier to take down. Flamethrowers do a really good job of taking down the hard suit. It basically just burns whoever's in the cockpit. A stinger is a 2-hit kill, so it basically not only kills the enemy in the hard suit, but it destroys the hard suit itself. Stinger, I wouldn't recommend a stinger for a hard suit. Stinger is more of a CQC oriented. It's more oriented for infantry instead of actual vehicle. So stick for the stinger for the Scorpion taking the hard suit. Other items, grenade launcher is not that good. Pretty much, you have to have about 3 or 4 grenades hit to kill someone. So it's more of a spamming weapon, but I still think that there's better options available than to use the grenade launcher. Miniguns, you know, it's a great weapon. It's basically a minigun on, not a minigun, but a light machine gun on steroids. So not really much to talk about in that regard. And I think last thing probably is the railgun, which is pretty much a one-hit kill on infantry players. So that's also pretty handy and something that can really change the scope of the battle or the game. So depot is pretty much, if you're in trouble or your team's just getting their asses handed to them, definitely go to the depot and see what's available and see, you know, what might help out your team the most. Brimstone, kind of almost forgot about that. That's really great for objective-based gameplay, especially King of the Hill. If you're getting stomped on King of the Hill and you pretty much have the enemy team just camping the point, you can just throw the Brimstone right on the point and it'll call an airstrike right on the point, and usually you'll get at least like 3 or 4 of them off the bat. But depot is great, especially if you're in those tough situations, but I generally think you guys should just avoid it. You're not gonna get better just by using a hard suit all the time or using a rocket launcher all the time. You want to improve your gun skills, so I think really just aside from health and ammo, just use the depot as a last resort or just use it sparingly. I think you can really improve a lot more if you stick to your guns or stick to, you know, your typical weapons that you use in most other games, most other shooters. So that's just my suggestion, but that's pretty much it for Road to Godmode episode 4. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thanks for watching. As always, appreciate it.